I can hear everything. It's everything time.
How's it going, everybody? It is, let me think, Thursday. Just about to bring Stephanie to work. Then I have some work to do myself. We'll get into that eventually. Um, Also, some really cool news. Something exciting is happening this evening. I was awoken to a really cool notification about something that's happening in town tonight that we are going to. So this is David Byrne's True Stories. This is a film, a feature-length film. It's a narrative film, not a rock concert, not a talking heads show. This is an actual movie written, directed by the one and only David Byrne. It's a film shot in a fictional town in Texas, and it's basically a film building up to the celebration of Special Ness. It's a concert performance that takes place in this really cool thing out in the middle of nowhere. It's a movie about characters. He was inspired to write this film by, if you guys might remember, the fictional newspaper Weekly World News, where they would feature all sorts of weird kind of stories. And this is what this is based on. This has been one of my favorite films since I was, oh god, probably 13 or 14. My father showed it to me initially. He's actually showed me a lot of what turned out to be my favorite films. He had a crazy VHS collection, and that was because I think a video store went out of business and he just bought a lot of the stock. But there's just something so special, so amazing about this film that's really connected with me, and it's inspired me and influenced me in my own creating since I've seen it. I just love all the crazy, weird characters. Like, there's a young John Goodman. He plays a guy who works in kind of a tech industry, and it's just focused around David Byrne. He doesn't even have a name in this movie. He just kind of drives around. He almost guides you through this movie, introducing you all these interesting characters. And the way it almost kind of breaks the fourth wall in a strange way and intertwines Talking Heads members is really interesting. So it is a musical, and it does have a lot of the songs from the Talking Heads album True Stories, but this is really its own project, and it's an amazing one at that. Visually, it's so amazing to look at. I love how the characters are kind of explained in one sentence, and you just get it. Like this woman, she's so rich, she never has to leave her bed, and I find that really refreshing to kind of not be forced so much information that they do in films these days. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is a really interesting part where it kind of goes into an amazing surrealist kind of fashion show, and this has also really inspired me in a lot of ways. I love the contrast between like really crazy fashion and just kind of normal people at a mall watching it. Like, there's no explanation and there's no need to. It just is what it is, and it's really special. So I woke up this morning and I checked my Instagram, and I saw that the Hollywood Theater in Portland is playing a 35mm print of this movie. And if there's anything you guys have realized or noticed about me, is I am really into that kind of stuff. I love watching films as they're intended to be seen in the format they were originally shown. So for instance, seeing this in 35 millimeter, and apparently it's a really nice copy, that is like the purest way to watch it, and I cannot wait to see it. It's so cool. So we're going there this evening. I think there's a band playing before the show. I don't know how busy this is going to be. This is really like a specific kind of cult classic, so we're going to see what kind of crowd is there. I'll take this camera. I'm probably going to take this book too, just because, you know, who knows? It's a cool thing to have while watching the movie, but I'm really excited. This is such a cool thing to wake up to, and this is why I love living in places like this. I get to see a 35 millimeter print of true stories. Cool. So here's today's Slab Town update part 2. Looks like they kind of just cleaned everything up. It's looking like they got some huge cement pieces out of the way. Yeah, that house is totally gone, flattened. Looks pretty nice, actually. This is a quick operation. I don't really see any interesting things left over except for wood, just a little bit of soil, some rubble. That's that. Not too much else to report. Alright, so we're going to bike there now. 3.3 miles that way. Get on these bikes and go.
Since 1986, the year it came out, so it's a good moment. So thank you all so much for coming out. Next month for the Mississippi Records Film and Music Series, I have no idea what's going to happen. Everything's chaotic. But then the month after that, Penelope Spheris is coming back, the director of The Decline and Fall of Western Civilization and Rain's World, all this kind of thing. And she's going to show her short films, which nobody's really seen before, and they're really amazing. So I hope you can show up for that. And she's also going to show a movie called Dudes. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you all again for coming. Here comes True Stories.
Okay, so we just got out of seeing True Stories. It was an awesome experience. Thank you again for Hollywood Theater for being the coolest theater in Portland. All the people are right there behind me, as you can see, smoking cigarettes and chatting about the movie. It's always really cool seeing old films like this with a newer audience for a few reasons. Like the first reason that it's interesting is to see what people find is funny. Like over time, humor has changed so much, so it's always interesting to see like what people catch up on and pick up on. So that's really cool. Also, just really in general, it's really cool to see people just sit down and enjoy such a cool movie that's not usually seen. So thanks again, Hollywood Theater. Thanks again, David Bryne. You guys are cool. Anyway, we're gonna head out of here now. We're gonna bike on home.